Here are my 2 best tech tips for improving your at-home virtual learning experience. I'm a technology consultant and a boss mom. So I've enjoyed working over the past couple of weeks with parents and teachers trying to get everybody ready and trying to optimize their technology using what they've got in the house. And this is a tip that I want everyone to know. It's kind of troubling to me because I haven't seen a lot of information from any school really regarding the technology requirements and best practices for making your at-home learning experience the best it can be. With me working at home, my husband working at home, we're both doing video calls, which are intense on the Wi-Fi and just take up a lot of bandwidth. And now my son is going to have to be for hours on end using video, and video is really, it uses up so much of your bandwidth. So just a note about Wi-Fi, remember that when you buy Wi-Fi from your internet provider, they sell you on the wired speed of your internet connection, not necessarily the Wi-Fi. So you may think that you have the best Wi-Fi around, but as soon as you add more devices, even if a device is idle in the background, you're not using it, it might still be on your Wi-Fi, downloading a program or an update. And if you and several other family members are all trying to do video calls, it's going to bring everything to a grinding halt. So to prevent that, here are my best tips. Number 1, use a wire. Remember what this is? This probably came in the box with your router and you might not have thought to even use it. Maybe it's stuffed in a drawer somewhere. And it's an Ethernet cable and you can actually connect it directly to the back of your router. Now, I think these are so important for internet connection with multiple people with multiple devices that I actually have a ridiculously large 50-foot Ethernet cable that I can snake with me wherever I go in the house. So that way, if my husband's on a video call, I need to make a media appearance or do an interview where the internet connection has to be perfect. We won't compromise each other's connection quality because one of us at least has a wired connection. So that's something that you're going to want to find, dig it out and connect it to your child's computer to make sure that they are not eating up your bandwidth that you might need for your paid position. One thing to note, you may need an adapter. These are not that expensive. I got one for my Apple computer, my Apple MacBook Pro. It was like $20 on Amazon, or a PC if you don't have a place to do a hard wire for your internet connection. With Wi-Fi, it's like one circle and each person who's on the device gets a piece of the pie. There's only one device running in the house, that person gets the whole pie. If you've got 2 people on devices and video calls, then you've got to split the pie. You've got a kid or 2 kids that are on camera and talking with their class. That's going to mean that everyone gets a small piece of the pie. And for video calls, you really need the whole pie. Just use a wire, plug into the wall. The other thing, try to make sure that you or your child is using a wired connection for electricity. If you're relying on the battery, your laptop is really struggling to try to make the connections, send the pictures, because video calls are really like just sending thousands of pictures in a minute to the other party, and your computer's working really hard to translate those images. So if you have your computer on a battery, it's totally possible, but that's when you're going to run into operating issues and slowing down and all that. So if you're a teacher and you've got a whole classroom and they're all on battery-powered Chromebooks or laptops, then everybody's computer's struggling, the call tends to be more choppy and so forth. This is something that's really important for you to remember. So again, the 2 tips are use a wire for your internet connection and use a wire for your power source and plug into the wall whenever possible. My name is Deb Colameta. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Deb Colameta. And I wish you the best this school year. Go get it.